All right.
It's picture perfect up in here, man, and that's not even, that's just a walk.
Well, it looked real, don't it?
I
I thought it was real for a second.
But I just tell him it was gonna be that green screen. We was gonna figure it out.
Yes, sir. Where's the graph?
So let me
I think
No, but
seeing it on camera, it's like, yeah, bro, it's crazy that thing. I need that. I need that. Like, seriously.
we're also live streaming across Twitch, Facebook, everywhere. So, cool. So no pressure. No pressure. Don't mess up.
Hang on.
Worldwide.
Worldwide.
Ready? I mean, of course.
Get what they get.
Oh, she okay. All right. To just remember to say it back question form,
Yes.
and we'll run through. So, I got some work to do. So,
Make sure I don't say wait, because I'm gonna forget that we're live. Oh, wait, let me see that again. And that's gonna make no sense to.
need to be up for it. And again, we're not married to those questions, so I'll give you minutes to memory.
No.
Unless-
It's funny, because people never had any questions before, thank you. They're like, oh, wow. I'm just,
Oh, yeah, I'm very big on that. I want to make sure that everybody's in the same, jam with the same music.
yeah.
Makes it a lot easier.
And I'm okay with not necessarily asking speak. Maybe, but,
So just to run through it, we have 5 points to get through.
okay,
Front of house excellence and leadership, quality control, service consistency, customer experience and retention, restaurant operation and industry, future of hospitality and training and mentorship. And I will actually toward that last one, the future of hospitality and training and mentorship. We're kind of mentioned Chefpreneur Academy. I think is a great path for people to come through. I mean,
Okay.
ultimately go to you ultimately. But it's a great path.
okay.
So we'll start by introducing yourself. Tell us who you are, where we at, how long you've been in the industry, what did you do?
Okay, we're asking the city, the state, or we're at Chef. I'm like, the city, the state, or the building? Okay. Something,
All right, are you ready?
Ready?
Yep.
I am rolling.
My name is Tasha Searle, and I am a restaurateur here in Atlanta. I am co-owner of, Apartment 4B, Bella and Lily's Caribbean Brunch House, and Juve Caribbean Kitchen.
Okay.
I'm sorry, let's do it again. Rolling.
Hey guys, my name is Tasha Searle, and I am co-owner of Apartment 4B, Bella and Lily's Caribbean Brunch House, and Juve Caribbean Kitchen here in Atlanta.
Awesome. Talk to me about front of the house excellence and leadership. Your perspective.
So as far as front of the house leadership and excellence goes, I think there are a lot of things that makes something excellent or guest experience excellent. I think there are 3 things we definitely have to touch on. The ambiance, service, and great food. Those 3 things are absolutely very tough to execute all at once. So it does require a lot of attention to detail, a lot of training, and consistency, and consistency more than anything else, right? Knowing your product. If you have a team that is not aware of what they're selling, that's not gonna go over well for your guest. So from the time that people walk through the door, service begins, I always say, from the parking lot. If you have valet, service begins there. So nobody, or the guest does not differentiate between who works there or who works under your company and who doesn't. So valet, for instance, half the time is hired from outside. The guest doesn't know that, nor should that matter, right? Once they step out their car, service begins then. And then once you walk through your doors with your host, whether it's your host, your manager, whoever it is. For us, we train everybody to have the skill set for every position at the restaurant. So just because you're a bartender or a server or the manager does not mean that you cannot go to the door and talk to somebody. Everybody, once they're clocked in, has the responsibility to the guest. As soon as you walk through the doors, it's no longer about us, it's all about the guest. So I feel like cross-training is one of those things that a lot of people miss. And I've heard the things, people say before, oh, well, that's not my job. Everything in the building is actually your job. And I always preach that I'm not going to ask him to do anything that I myself will not. So for that reason, we cross-train people. It helps the business go a lot further. If somebody calls out, then you've been trained in a certain position, just fall in line. And that is a big, that's very big in restaurant culture. People having emergencies, people calling out, and like traffic, people being late. So we definitely place a lot of emphasis on those things specifically, because it just makes operations a lot easier than today.
How can restaurant owners and managers better train and empower the front of the house team?
I believe owners and restaurant managers can empower their team by they themselves being consistent. I believe that there's no such thing as a bad team, just like there's no such thing as bad children. It's either the management or the parents, right? So if I come in and my energy is one lackluster, I have an attitude, I can't request that my team do the opposite. Like, we're still human beings, and you don't do what I say, you do what I do. So I am actually the first person who should lead by example. And I think that's what leadership is. You don't show up and ask that things be done a certain way, you yourself are not able to emulate that.
What are the most overlooked details that separate a good service from five-star experience?
Some of the most overlooked details that could cause your service to go from 1 to a 5 or 5 to a 1. For me personally, I think it's communication. Everything pretty much remains the same. The steps of service are the same. The people might change. However, operationally, things are probably going to go wrong. You can have all your systems in place, you have all your rules, you have everybody follow it, but something might happen. I come in one day and a bartender may on an accident coming. Might be short staffed. Halloween, it is Atlanta. So just being able to give transparency to your guest, I think is very important. Because if you come in as a guest, you're expecting a certain level of service, and you don't get that, you're left to assume whatever you want, which rightfully so. So if a guest walks in and I don't share that, like, hey guys, please give us some grace today. We had a few shortcomings, so we had somebody call out, somebody is not here on time. I think it's okay to share those things. Obviously, you don't want to go into too much detail, but it allows for people to see the human side of business, because I believe people that but just because you're a business, everything is always going right. Like, we just had a crazy, it wasn't even it wasn't a hack, but the Amazon went down. Like, that affected a lot of things. So things do go wrong sometimes, but I think if you're transparent and you communicate that, and you give your team the tools and the verbiage to communicate with your guests, that does go along.
Good. All right, let's take a 2-minute break. You're doing great. Got two more questions to go.
Okay.
Doing great.
What is the basic thing? Both of them. Thank you. So you're friendly friend.
I've never been.
Yeah, that's my business. Love you, friend. Very good friend. It's fun. Glenn was, I'm sorry, when I used to bartend at you. Crazy. Hi.
You good? Bathroom break?
I'm good.
Cool, all right.
So bad. How much is it to take this up?
All right, let's keep pushing that. All right. So the next two questions, we're gonna talk about restaurant operation and industry standards, and then go into the future of hospitality and training. So the talking points for the next is gonna be kind of talking about building operational synergy between front and back of the house, what it really takes to meet the modern hospitality standards. You know, that's a big thing. So I've been in the industry for a long time. Front of house, back of house, always be low key, like always.
Never enter. They're always even, or they're always friends and giving each other stuff.
Yes, a lot of love triangles going on between the chefs and servers, and somebody really, okay, sidebar. Let's talk about it for a second. So when I was in Virginia, I was in Virginia 20 years, from Atlanta, I'm old Atlanta, 96. People are ringing with the omni, like old Atlanta type shit, right? But when I was in Virginia, I was doing this brunch pop-up. So I would go to a restaurant, super typically closed on Sundays, where the case is, negotiate with the owner, and I get the spot for like 90 days, every Sunday, right? And I started doing this pop-up brunch. It got really popular. I was like, you should make a reality show. Because there's no black chefs on TV with reality shows since Chef Roble back years ago. Bravo, right?
Yeah, I think.
And-
that's a lot.
And I ended up doing 6 episodes where we just let the camera roll in the kitchen, in front of the house. In front of the house, people coming in, they eating, they enjoying the food. Back in the house, we fucking fighting, dropping shit on the floor. We got the lobster tail, like it's this chaos back there. Then the camera goes to the front of the house. Y'all just eating, having a good time. You have no idea the back of the house is fucking calamity. So I ended up doing 6 episodes. Y'all know Tim Reed? Tim Reed, he's the dad on Teen Tamara. So Tim Reed's from Richmond. Him and a guy named DK Fulton started a network called soulvision.tv. It's an app.
Yeah.
It's like positive black television. And they gave me a deal for 10 episodes. And I got 6 episodes up there though, so check it out. Then COVID happened and shit got weird. But when you said, I'm like, you know what? This should be a reality show. I thought about doing it again in Atlanta, like
You gonna get some real good content.
going in with a production team, picking a restaurant, and just hang out there for a week and just shoot content. But like shoot it from a reality show perspective, showing the chef and maybe follow the chef home, and maybe he's fucking with the server, and they got into the thing was right. The thing about it was we didn't need no script. Do you? This shit is every day is something. Customers cuss somebody out, or it's something. So look out. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Let's get into it. Okay, so the question is, how should restaurants balance operational? How should restaurants balance operational efficiency with personal touch that today's guests expect? Again, that's how should restaurants balance operational efficiencies with the personal touch that today's guests expect? But just I think guests expect more now because of TikTok and what they see everywhere else.
Yeah.
How can restaurants do that?
So as far as guest expectations based on what they see on social media, I don't think that that's realistic from a human point of view. So I always have this thing that I say, like, it's one thing to be a chef in a live kitchen, and it's one thing to be a chef for a catering. It's another thing to be a personal chef for 3 people, or a personal chef for 2 people for a dinner. These are a little more controlled. A personal chef, a catering chef. When Miss Betty walks through the door and it's her birthday and she's hangry and she asks for, I don't know, chicken or waffles. I want extra waffles. Make my chicken this tall, yada, yada, yada. It's not optimal for operations, because think about it. We're probably stacked with people. It's busy. The good thing and the bad thing is the guest doesn't really care about anybody else that's in the restaurant, which is where the restaurant professionals come in and need to guide their staff. Need to guide their guests, I'm sorry. Here's what I can do for you, Miss Nancy, Miss Betty, whatever I called her just now. this is possible, but right now, this may take a little longer. So again, that open communication and just proper guidance, and this is where it goes back to just the team knowing what pickup times are, what are the ingredients in certain things, like how am I gonna make this lady happy on her birthday, she's already hangry, but not make my kitchen crash out and scream at me, because that's literally what you're asking for as a server if you say yes to Miss Nancy for such a ridiculous order if it's super busy. So I think we have to put things in place, like little tools. All right, Miss Nancy, I can't get you this, but I can get you that. Like flexibility is key to the success of any busy operations. Like somebody might run late, they might be upset, the entire party's not here, but you have another reservation that's not yet done. So use that to your advantage. Usually, we don't see an incomplete party, we fell short here, I'm gonna take you right here, right? So things are going to happen. Flexibility is gonna be key in just executing a great service for what the guest is. It can't just be yes or no, it has to be.
Since you've been in the industry, what are some pain points you've seen with Atlanta restaurants particularly?
So a lot of the pain points I've seen with, well, one of the biggest pain points for me in Atlanta when I first got down here 10 years ago was the work ethic. And I'm coming from New York, so we don't stop, right? So that was hard to navigate and just figure out, okay, if somebody's good and they show up for work, just figure out how to train them. Like, let's figure out what their strong points are. Let's figure out what they're not so good at and place them in the areas that makes the most sense for the business. But that definitely was one of the biggest things. There was also a culture clash for me as far as what dining looked like. I felt like everything essentially just turned into a nightclub at a certain time. And for me, social etiquette in a dining space is very big. My biggest pet peeve is people not putting a napkin on their lap and just throwing it on the table and leaving a knife in it. I'm like, that's not what that goes. So those two are definitely the biggest for me. And I think there are a lot of places that don't necessarily care about educating their guests on how to dine properly, what social etiquette in a dining space looks like. And I think that's very much needed.
How do you think Chefpreneur Academy will help to solve the problems of bad hospitality?
So I think Chefpreneur, see, I can't even say that word. Chefpreneur.
Yeah. Good.
I think the academy is going to be great if people are open to it. And I think because now a lot of people are open to learning new skills, they're open to bettering themselves. I think this comes at a great time in Atlanta specifically, because there are a lot of restaurants. There are a lot of restaurant owners who are not restaurant people, and they absolutely need the help. Like I tell people all the time, don't go into restaurants or dining if one, you don't believe in serving other people, and two, if you don't live, breathe, eat, sleep, shit. Like it does not stop. It doesn't. So I think this will be a great addition to the city. I'm excited about it. It'll be a great resource for sure.
And tell us who you are, what time name you're coming.
My name is Tasha Cyril, and I am co-owner and operator at Apartment 4B, Bell and Lily's Caribbean Brunch House in Juve Caribbean Kitchen.
Thank you. Awesome. Good job. One take on that. One take. Professional.
Like you've been there.
My days.
One take. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Let's do a quick picture real quick. Everybody's here before we take off. Anybody got a decent phone? A decent.
I got to shoot.
Okay, cool.
We answered that, Katie.
Kenny, where's Android? Where's Android?
My Android.
Yeah.
See the green.
All right,
You right, you right.
2, 3. Oh, sorry about that, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead, cause I'm done then. You can call them out, 'cause I'm doing it again.
All right, eyes. 1, 2. 1, 2. One more. Right.
Put his hands out, what's happening? Are we
1,
supposed to be doing this?
2.
I'm gonna need the
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's water. You're free to hang out for a second if you want to. Kenny, you ready?
Yeah.
No, for you.
I got one. I don't be knowing what to do, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, take time.
So, who's fired of that? Yeah, you did that. Yeah. Hello, Jack. I'll just bring, Google, AI, prompt AI. You know, the people who try to create, blah, blah, there's certain prompts you have to say.
Yeah.
And it's like a flower, did it go on learn shit, right? You're supposed to go and chat and create folders, and you create a folder, you keep the project. And it creates your whole, like, the black gold bar, brand identity, everything. Chicken, you guys will copy correct.
Yeah, you
But it learns this. It creates, like, oh.
It learns.
We're like, oh,
I'm gonna share.
if we just get nerve criteria, that's fine.
Learn anything? Yeah, learn.
I was wait.
You know, I don't fall it.
I was like, we're gonna laugh at you so much.
Is it in frame okay?
Some other good shots for me. Here's my good again.
You better.
This is not a, doesn't happen very often.
Let's keep going.
They call it. Oh, wow. That's good. Tell me about this.
Sorry, bro.
No.
It didn't make any sense, and I couldn't sleep last night. I took painkillers, but then I don't take medication. I was like, I couldn't.
Get you to that night.
And then I finally fell asleep. I woke up at 8 o'clock, and it was like, I fell asleep at like 5. Oh my God, I'm still hurts today to sleep, to sleep. Right. It's just like, this is not very
Comfortable this thing, you know what I'm saying? I gotta sit like I'm at a desk, I gotta
Yeah, because the stair is a little low.
gotta figure this thing out. Okay, cool. Back straight, all right. You take my posture poses from you.
Listen, you got to, you know.
Yeah. You had a little side look.
That's the shot.
Yeah. So let's just start by, tell us who you are and what it is you do.
Hello, everybody. My name is Kenny Brown. I'm the president and founder of Vibe Tribe University, located here in Atlanta, Georgia. I focus on social and emotional learning through classes and courses and workshops on financial literacy, personal development, wellness, and overall activations.
Awesome. We're gonna do it again. Let's read.
All right, well,
Hello, everybody. My name is Kenny Brown. I'm the president and founder of Vibe Tribe University, located here in Atlanta, Georgia. We focus on social and emotional learning classes, mainly financial literacy, personal development, leadership, coaching, as well as emotional intelligence.
Am I blind?
My hands start coming out suddenly.
So we're gonna cover the rest of the same topics, but not the thing, with five points, you know, feel free to elaborate, give us some real world examples, et cetera, et cetera. And what we'll do later for, editing, I would take some of your clips, and as you're talking, the voice over that shit, social media shit. So, we'll talk about the role of emotional intelligence in the workplace.
Yeah.
How self-awareness, empathy, communication impact team culture, guest experience, and professional growth. So ultimately, when I craft these questions, I had you in mind, I had back of the house in mind, like, we need it. Chefs and fries, they need emotional intelligence, they need.
Yeah.
Francis, yeah.
Everybody.
Everybody.
All right, so first question, we say next question we hear. What is the role of emotional intelligence in the workplace?
I mean, emotional intelligence is all about culture, right? It's culture and attitude.
You're gonna say back the role,
Oh,
say it back, because we edit, I won't be in.
Got it.
What is the role of emotional intelligence in the workplace?
The role of emotional intelligence in the workplace is really all about culture and overall just focus and mindset and being able to connect with customer. The customer experience is of ultimate importance, but ultimately teamwork is the best cure as well. Having a certain level of emotional intelligence and leaders and leadership does help with chemistry. It does help deal with high pressure environments. It also helps with decision making, especially when you're under stressful scenarios and stressful situations. Having a high degree of emotional intelligence allows you to connect emotionally with your customers, understanding and reading the room when they come in to be able to provide them with the customer experience that's exceptional. And you know, customers these days are starting to prioritize experience over food. And so, you know, not being able to provide that type of experience and that welcoming energy to a customer when they come in your doors, they remember that more than sometimes they remember the food and what was on their plate. And so one bad employee with a bad attitude that day that didn't read the room and just ultimately didn't have their mental and emotional health together can ultimately change the whole vibe and change the whole perception that people have and the community has of your overall corporation and your business.
Thank you. They will talk about developing emotional resilience. So talk to us about a time where you had to teach or facilitate manage a conflict between two individuals.
A time when I had to teach or manage a conflict between two individuals. I mean, I can just talk about one I had maybe a couple days ago. I was in a print shop, and I came in, there was no manager available. I had a order that I needed to pick up, and ultimately, there was a conflict between the person I was printing, ultimately the mechanic or the employee or the associate, and then the designer, the graphic designer that fed the materials into the machine. And so my order was incorrect. There was no manager on site to kind of alleviate my concerns as a customer. And the two employees didn't have a healthy relationship between each other to be able to collaboratively work to solve the problem. And ultimately that gave me a perceived negative experience of the overall company. And so, you know, my print needs and overall, just as a university, we have a lot of things, we bring a lot of business, and ultimately you can feel the energy that's coming from an employee and coming from a company that makes you want to do business with them or not. People do business with people they like, you know, and people come and support businesses with people that they like, and they want to work with people that they like. And so, in managing the conflict between those two, I kind of had to step in as a customer, and luckily I had the skill set to be able to mediate between them to provide a solution. They were able to get the manager on the phone. It was so unfortunate because when I asked to speak to a manager, they were like, oh, well, there's a language barrier. We can't communicate with our manager like that. So I was like, okay, well, how am I supposed to get my needs met as a customer, right? Because I know it's not your fault. You're the technician. Ultimately, same in the hospitality industry, right? The cooks or the chef or the servers aren't entirely responsible for the food being incorrect, or sometimes the order being placed incorrectly or remembered incorrectly, related incorrectly. So, that can cause a real issue, one, in the back of the house, because you have a communication error that now has been escalated, and now the server comes back out with an attitude, right? And so that ultimately can negatively impact the customer experience. And so, being able to effectively resolve those things ultimately allows, it just gives room for peace, and it gives room for repeated customers. And in today's market, customers are prioritizing experience over food. And so the food could be good, but the service can be horrible, and they'll never come back again.
Talk to us about the importance of mental, physical, and emotional health in managing stress and maintaining balance in high-pressure environments.
Yeah, so mental, emotional, and physical health play a large role in managing stress and maintaining balance in the workplace and amongst a team. I mean, when you start just talking about mental health, you're talking about mindset and focus. And a team that can't focus can't finish. And ultimately, a manager that can't follow through on their word and follow through on their promises can't deliver exceptional service. And so, that's two pillars of a healthy and a productive and progressive company, corporation of any sort, but definitely in the restaurant service industry. So, your mental health ultimately affects your decision making, being in high pressure situations in the back of the house, in the kitchen, and errors occur when people can't think and they can't focus and they're flustered. And so the increase of errors ultimately decreases the customer experience, will ultimately decrease the revenue, and ultimately can drive a company ultimately to failure. It's not the food, it's not entirely the service. It can just be the fact that it's ruckus in the back of the house while they're having a good experience on the front. It's a vibe on the front, but in the back, it's slow. The food is slow. The food is incorrect. The plating is not really as pristine as you want it to be. And ultimately, it's just chaos. And people can feel that. They can feel that. And, you think about an experience when you go out to a restaurant and you're having a good time and you hear somebody yelling in the back. And it's a complete distraction from your experience. So, you remember that. And that's the drama of that. Right? That's the drama. Well, I went to the restaurant. It was a cool restaurant. It's a vibe, but black people, they gotta be some drama, right? It's the black restaurants, somebody gotta have an attitude. The cook back there, he upset because the person gave an order and he wanted to slow down. So, you can feel that. And those are things that ultimately are all about mental health. The cook may be burnt out back there, right? And they're working long hours and they're working double shifts. And, ultimately there's a passion to it, but at some point that passion becomes a burnout, and that passion becomes a burden, and that burden is felt in the way that you cook, and the food is, you can feel the love that's inside of the food. You can also feel the hate and the fear and the negative that's inside of it as well. From an emotional perspective, I mean, you're really just talking about empathy, being able to empathize and be compassionate when people come in and they're hungry, people come in and they're excited. Can the servers and can the front of the house match that energy? And really, or set the tone and set the standard for the energy you want to come through your doors. And because people remember that. And in this day and age where people are ignoring other individuals, they're not empathizing and not trying to connect. And ultimately, the servers are starting to feel as if you're an inconvenience to them. And that's something that having a good, emotional balance within your staff and within the people that's ultimately the front of the house and the face of your organization or client facing, that's a very important thing. So making sure that they're happy, making sure that they have good mental and emotional health and support resources and ultimately opportunities to be able to get it out, and that can ultimately help connect, and that can help, the overall chemistry. As far as physical health, I mean, it's burnout. Are we promoting environments where you're encouraging your employees to take breaks? Are you encouraging environments where you're actually giving them healthy meals and healthy food? Are you encouraging environments where you're creating mindful places where they can really get it out? That goes into feedback loops. Is there any feedback loops that's a dual feedback where it's two ways? A lot of times in corporations, especially in the restaurant industry, you get a lot of feedback that come from the top down, but you don't get a lot of feedback that's coming from the bottom up. And so the managers, if they were given an assessment or given their overall evaluations, would find out that their leadership skill is actually, or their leadership approach is having a negative effect on the staff itself. They can have a qualified staff and just a horrible leadership style, and ultimately they'll never know because the feedback loop is a one-way street. So, having an effective feedback loop in those environments ultimately will help overall change the culture, improve the culture, and set the standard.
Yeah,
Last question. Yeah, right there.
Got it.
So the last question, we'll talk about building a culture of self-awareness and accountability. Basically, I'm asking you this question. How can leaders create a supportive environment that encourages mindfulness, collaboration, and authenticity across their team? You're going to repeat.
I know, I can do that.
How to build culture of self-awareness and accountability.
Yeah.
The underlying question, how can leaders create that environment to encourage mindfulness?
Yeah.
I know it's not like.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Cultivating accountability and overall, culture, positive culture in an environment is very big. Accountability is being able to, one, understand that you follow through on your commitments, you honor your word, you can take feedback, you can look yourself in the mirror and accept it for what it is and make positive changes because of it. You take ownership for your role and the part that you play on a larger team, on a larger goal, and you also take ownership for the failures. Accountability is not just focusing on the failure, but focusing on what you learn from it. It's your first attempt in learning, right? And ultimately, that's what fail, broken down as an acronym can mean. And so those that are accountable understand how to learn from failures and how to get better, how to improve, which ultimately cultivates a culture in any environment, especially in the hospitality industry, where they raise the standard. And people want to do business and want to work for people that know themselves, that take accountability for the role that they play, the decisions that they make, and the impact that they have on other people. And so ultimately showing as a leader that you can do that, people want to follow. And they will go to war for you. They will go to the ends of the earth and do things for you that you didn't realize that they would do. They'll make sacrifices because they know that ultimately you will own it regardless of what the result is. And you're not going to place blame or point fingers at someone else when it was you that took that was the leader and made that final choice. So, ultimately being accountable, it's about culture, connection, and overall just a connectivity. You want to ultimately connect with those around you. Authenticity is the highest energy. People can feel when you're being fake. People can feel when you're saying one thing but meaning another. They recognize when you make a commitment, make a promise that you don't follow through on. And accountability also falls on the customer. Or be accountable to the customer. I know some experiences that I've had. Some of my most memorable experiences in restaurants has been when the chef makes me a promise that they're going to do something, or they're going to give me something, or they're going to provide clarity on something, and they don't forget. And they don't come back later like, oh, I forgot about that, or oh, I never said that. And then it becomes a conflict, because I can't hold the server, or I can't hold that employee accountable for the promise that they made, or a discount that they promised, or a coupon that was offered, or a special that I can't because there was a special, and ultimately you didn't honor your promise, or you didn't communicate well. So, in a lot of these cases, accountability is what can make or break a team. The lack of accountability can result in people that just don't follow through on the things that they're supposed to do, and they don't have clear expectations, right? Sometimes people are not accountable, and because they don't know what they're supposed to be doing, and they don't have a true measurement for success. So in order to really hold someone accountable, it's very important that, one, you clarify what the expectation is, and then you also help them understand this is what success looks like. And if you miss or you deviate from that, and you don't want to own it, then it's hard to say that you're accountable, which means it's hard to say that you're a leader.
And tell us who you are.
Are you doing my promo?
Yeah, I got it. Right.
My name is Kenny.
Social media.
Got it. Hey everybody, my name is Kenny Brown. I'm the president and founder of Vibe Tribe University, also the lead instructor for social emotional learning. I teach classes and courses and workshops on emotional intelligence, financial literacy, overall mindfulness, and leadership development. Please visit our website, www.vibetribeuniversity.com. Also, check out our leadership program, or ESAP, at kennybspeaks.com. We're here. We believe you can change your mind, you can also change your life. And that's how we're gonna help you change your vibe.
Good shit.
That boy good.
Same thing. Number two.
You saw one tape, Jake? See it? Gave me a little motivation. About how
Entrepreneur, chefpreneur.
It's not yours that's hard for me to say.
I think it's difficult to try to spell shit every time. Damn, it's like E. Where the ego? It's under reservation. Yeah, full reservation.
Yes,
What was the question?
how can Chefpreneur Academy teach some? I don't know. You asked her the last question.
Yeah.
What do you think the benefits of Chefpreneur Academy is as it relates to what you do?
Absolutely. So one of the benefits of Chefpreneur Academy in terms of leadership development and what Vibe Tribe University does is, in the first week of the program, there's really no focus on back-end activities as far as touching food and culinary. The first week is focused on leadership development, mindset, emotional intelligence, just trying to really focus on behavioral and emotional health, making sure that you got your mind right before you go back and try to get your grind right. And so, Chefpreneur Academy is something that can help you in the first 5 days, just focus on the front end of managing self, accountability, leadership, communication, empathy, and connectivity with those around you. If you can't follow, you can't lead. So ultimately, the first week of Chefpreneur Academy can help develop leaders by understanding followership first.
Perfect. And it is first week too.
That's what you just said. I need to give you that. I need to give you that. You gave it to me in the back. I was like, I gotta talk.
Talk to Mike real quick to talk about social media information, website, and then you'll follow her the same thing, and then as you get. http:// But yeah, I
Can I just say the social media is instead of all the website?
It's whatever you want to say. Like, as far as like, how can we find and locate you? You want to do your Twitch, Twitch, Indeed, whatever, I don't know.
Hold on, Mike.
You know what I'm saying?
You know,
Shot like this.
What's happening?
How many families you got? Okay, well, I wanted to ultimately get, the shorter. And
I couldn't remember some.
I mean, let's really, keep it.
I'm just gonna hide
Just like when it sits on the.
Yeah.
it. Sound
Put it up
good.
right.
Don't remember.
Just
All the pages.
those, damn.
Wait,
Your name, I'm so, you can find me at,
sorry.
close the link.
Hey, my name is Tasha Cyril,
Oh,
and
stop. Good job. I think that, you didn't have any last one.
Continuity.
Yeah.
thank you.
That was a good catch.
Got that side shot, got that side.
Remember that, you're like, wait a minute.
Creative director over here.
Put the credits to me. All right.
My name is Tasha Bell, and you can follow our restaurants at Apartment 4B ATL, Shoe Vacation ATL, and Bell and Lily's.
All right, one more time.
Yeah, smile at them.
Okay.
But, so your whole company, though, that's the group, right?
Ah, yes, that more than anything else.
Quiet, sir. Sound. I can do this shit, it'd be crazy. They say sound, be quiet like a whole minute, like, what are you doing? Take the room sounds crazy.
Doing the mannequin challenge.
All right, ready? Go ahead.
Hey guys, my name is Tasha Bell, and, oh, that's not, I gave the other name.
It was the emphasis
No.
on Tasha. Yeah.
It's okay. I'm Tasha Bell, Tasha Bell Group.
Yeah, but I said Tasha Cyril before. You should remember, it's like the jacket, you know?
Oh, they didn't make that number. That's not enough.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I said the wrong thing, you gotta say the right thing all the time. You
That's
got it. Hey guys, my name is Tasha Cyril, and you can follow me at the Tasha Bell Hospitality Group on Instagram, Apartment 4B ATL, Bell and Lily's, and Juve Caribbean Kitchen on Instagram.
Perfect.
I have a feeling that's not Juve's Instagram, because it's not.
It's not?
Juve Kitchen.
What is
It's
it?
not. It's Juve Kitchen.
Juve Kitchen.
It's too many, like,
Bring it back.
Tasha Hospitality, Lily's, retail. Juve Kitchen retail.
All right, and rolling.
Hey guys, my name is Tasha Cyril, and you can follow me at the Tasha Bell Group Hospitality on Instagram, Apartment 4B ATL, Juve Kitchen ATL, and Bell and Lily's.
Good.
Perfecto. Chef, hold on up there. Come on.
Doing so well.
So your turn to color too.
Hold on up there.
Yes.
Stop that information from you leaving.
Sure.
I'm pulling up the leadership.
So once the class launches in January, we'll be talking in between then. I'm gonna get you guys back out here. We'll talk what it looks like with you guys tomorrow for a day. Your hours, actually, you'll teach your stuff to the class.
Sure.
And we're gonna feature professionals in the industry. It's a 5-week course, so 3 days a week, 5-week course. I think week 1, and I think week 2 or 3, we'll have you come out and talk to the group about hospitality.
Yeah.
I think definitely need
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Put me down.
Are you made clear ACF, right?
No.
American Culinary Federation.
Yeah, maybe I'm not.
So American Culinary Federation, they'll also be here the
Okay,
week you're here hospitality.
okay.
ACF is the accrediting body for culinary throughout the United States.
Okay.
And
So I need
they have a hospitality course in there as well. This is how you get your master's in international hospitality. And like, what do you call it? Cruise ships and yacht clubs and private
International tourism
shit.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Need that.
All right.
Hopefully great.
That's my goal. It's like start connecting and bridging that shit over. Yeah. Social media, whatever that's at. Hi guys, I'm Chef. Fill in the blank. You can find me. You can find me or follow me at, I don't know, your Indeed, MySpace, Black Planet, whatever. See, everybody said it. Nobody.
Nobody did. You're right.
Well, right, it's 17, it's Earl and.
Earl.
2000. Right. All right, ready?
All right, and rolling.
Hey guys, I'm Chef Terry Austin. You can follow me at mysecretrecipe.pcs.com. And you can also find me on my IG, My Secret Recipe PCS.
Good.
Look at you.
See, I should have watched them first. They were just like smooth, like butter on a hot biscuit.
Come on.
I was like falling upstairs.
So listen, appreciate y'all. Like, this is.
That was quick. That was quick. I thought we were gonna get all that outside.
I mean, we got that.
Excellence, that's excellent.
I found like some questions, 2 weeks in advance, what we're talking about, what we'll be doing, tag, and promo, and all that kind of stuff was out there, so it was like, I would imagine it'd be the editing now. Anytime a videographer needs now,
Yes.
this guy is everything.
I might need to do some headshots right now.
This guy is everything. They just did one music fest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You go out in Atlanta, bro?
You go out in Atlanta? Yeah. This came out really fucking good, man. I'm impressed.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah? It's a day, man. I'm off the job. You know what I'm fucking on. Doing, the video amateur. Right. Reading script, book script, person looks kind of like me, like I create a talker.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh,
yeah, I have to. Yeah.
I'm bringing my.
You can go on my page, there's one.
You like,
Actually, like, from the followers. Sora. Sora. Right. Okay, when that came out after. This is my brother. I remember.
oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Morgan.
More, yeah.
you,
No.
what are you trying to do? Lot of work.
Yes.
Integrate the WordPress website. It's one touch.
Try to create, like, people actually want to UGA, like, have college level.
Like, I was contacted about in there West University.
Yeah.
On the same shape, I'm more line point today. I'm like, just use our GM stuff. Research, God, you just see your curriculum to, something that, to take a look at it, make sure it's just a curriculum. And then you can talk, what's the GI. So, we're going to government route. And we're looking at shit.
I just want to get the RFPs, like, to just, like,
Are you ready to stand back up?
yeah. So, I can say, like, I got to local, I need, like, why, say, it's like,
So, go to take twice a month, and you train. So, yeah. And they hand walk you for the full. Local federal government and then national government. Process was due.
yeah.
Why come to
It's like, damn.
What? What's up? And
That, like, the line, and the one you just talking about. Yeah.
it's gonna be a cost. So, let me know, I mean, it's part of it. Yeah, me too. I know for sure. Cool. We agree, we talk culinary, guys, business, aspect.
So counselors and degree programs, and then also.
When you do it, you run it back. There was an opportunity, because I worked in college, and my first like working. But my mentor was like, don't be licensed. It's also licensed. Yeah, they're going to revenue up on it. Like, the difference is theirs. My opportunities to be clear.
Nice, sure.
That means then you can take your course up, but now you can sell in your book. By putting, and then your course for this, become, hey, well, if you nursing credit, you got to just take out. Right, what, then you sell the book. Now, they pay you, you got sign up for the course, pay the check, open your books for you. Who's got a high book themselves? They sign
Hey, well, I need to get your information.
Premier time.
Exactly.
Well, they also. And there was BB and, it has opportunity coming up.
Yeah, oh my God, right, that's what it is, it's just takes,
Just talked to, Savannah State.
Nice.
Program and Georgia State program. So, I know this, no, I didn't walk over your stuff in there. So,
Or you just send me your contact.
Okay.
Teaching side.
Yeah. The same place like earlier.
That's great.
So, you know, like, oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, she is one of those classes.
The biggest, one of the biggest beneficiaries is, yes, police, business owners in here. Nobody has anything, so. So sorry, but they're coming into the thing, and their who trusts their operation itself, they don't know ins and outs. So you go.
I see that.
And then there's the little finger fruit is Hispanic community. So we're gonna be Hispanic, bilingual, they're even.
Oh, wow. Well, that's it.
They're more eager.
No, they always reference.
The black. I have a little simple about our.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's where I got that one. Consultation. Oh, yeah. 20 years. And I thought about just like, maybe I can go to sessions. Yeah, I can go, okay, I'll get back. Maybe we want to. And I was like, well, I'm not here. I know the chef's not there. I know I to. It's just, if you want to do it, do it. It's not going to be. Don't do it.
We get some people, shoot my clip. Tell us about Chefpreneur Academy, Walmart School. My
What you
man,
mean? Yeah.
we mind, you want to take this tour? The three of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Two.
Yes. But we have, this is just a classroom. Oh, sure. When we're just teaching, we're being just teaching.
Okay.
Yeah, and remember, we're not.
Instruction, that's right, when I do back at house.
Hopefully you got to cook already to get here. That ain't no hard, no. How to charge a plate. Right.
Right.
Yeah, Frank, we're gonna mic, Chef up. Yeah, and then we just gonna walk through and let him explain the venue and Chefpreneur Academy tour.
Yeah, we good, bro. You gotta get out of here.